Okay.
I got the recording.
Yay! So you'll have to erase it since it's not an official meeting.
Well, it's all right. We got, if I can get to admit him, Eldon's
Don't worry.
waiting. There we go.
Don't worry.
Eldon's here.
Hey, I think we need 2 people at least to make quorum.
Oh, we need the secretary to be able to bring the person into the meeting too.
There, hey Eldon, welcome.
Hi, Eldon.
We're just trying to hear officer reports. We don't have a quorum yet. Thanks to you, we're only 1 person short.
Okay, so yeah, basically, I want to get us like 50 people in our meeting, and if moving to, because we have like 175 people on the caucus, and I don't know if people liked it or not, but I did put into the email that goes out that I send out a couple times a month about the meeting, just an FYI that you don't have to participate. You can stay on mute with your microphone, stay on mute with your video. If you just want to check us out, lurk around, see what we're doing. And also you can go to the links I also included to see what our past meetings are like, with the recordings we have of them, so that people can kind of look them over and see if it's something they're interested in. I've also been watching other meetings, other Democratic, specifically political and Democratic meetings, and caucus type meetings, just to see if there's something we can do better to make it more interesting or engage participants. So I'm kind of putting that all into a big stew of maybe hopefully promoting it better, ongoing progress, but I will add to it now, asking everyone, maybe sending out an email and saying what day would work for you to join, and then taking the suggestions. So that's about it, really.
Okay, thanks, Patty.
You're welcome.
I see a certain 4-footed friend here wants some attention.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. We've had several labs and they're very oral.
He is. Look at him.
So, I just want to say that I think one of the issues is that if you're not really used to talking about either A, the politics and the mechanics of the politics, or B, the issues that come up for everybody when you talk about disability, and how difficult it can be, and how limited society's understanding is of those difficulties, then it doesn't make for a real inviting sounding meeting. I have to say,
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like going to okay, let's talk. Pardon me, Glinda, but it's like going to say and talk about death. Talk about what your funeral plans are.
Right. I see.
Oh, thing you want to do.
I would to cut in there quickly, I would object to the idea of comparing it to like that sort of thing, simply because I think that that's kind of perpetuating the idea that disability is an inherently negative thing, and the idea that you say like, hey, I'd rather be dead than disabled. So I know that that's not how you meant it, but I just feel the need to put that.
Right.
I think they're saying that that's what other people think, and that's a brilliant insight. Ewan, as always, got my brain buzzing. I get it. So we have to work against that. And what Glinda said, I get it. No, I'm not Glinda. Sorry. Eliza, that's good. That's good input.
Mm-hmm. Could we know, I don't know if your friend there is going to be contributing to the discussion or not, but I'd love to know her name.
Sorry, I thought that I was going to introduce myself, but then I'm Emma.
Okay, so you're E&E, huh?
Yeah. And then our other friend here is my service dog, Cove, and then she's a political doggy. She came to the DNC with me, and she goes canvassing and it's all lovely.
Wow, cool.
Great.
That's great. I'm glad to know that. Okay, well, I don't see our speaker here yet. I need to ask for a point of personal privilege in that my wife is now home and it's her 75th birthday today. And I sent out an email to everybody on the list to ask if we could sing happy birthday to her, but I gotta go get her. So
Go get her.
hang on a minute.
Actually, while Ewan's doing that, I'm not getting any emails. So could we just double check that I'm on the?
Oh, absolutely. I'll check
Thank
that.
you.
didn't
I'll
either.
check that when the meeting's done. I'll check that when the meeting's done. Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, good to see you back.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, good to
Thank
see
you
you
for
too.
thank you for coming, even though you're not getting the emails. That's great.
You're welcome.
That's extra credit right there.
This is my wife, Mary, and it's her 75th birthday today, and we've been together for 45 years
Oh, wow.
of those 75. So,
That's
one,
lovely.
2, 3. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday
To you.
Happy birthday
to you.
you.
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
You.
Yeah. It doesn't work well on Zoom.
And every last one of
Aw.
those years was fun.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Of course.
You know, after that long, it's kind of hard to find something new to do, you know, and
This was
an opportunity to do something different. And besides, I thought the caucus owed it to me since I volunteered to chair
That's
tonight.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
By the way, I got a note from Elizabeth Burrows. She's running late from the legislature. She will be here.
sure, no kidding.
It's a good thing I got a note because I was all wrapped up in something else. And, oh, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
That's right.
Does anyone else have an issue or a topic that you want to have a brief discussion on, and while we're waiting for our speaker, Kristen?
yes,
Kristen.
Kristen.
Murphy.
Kristen Murphy.
I'm sorry, would you say it again, Patty?
Kristen Murphy. Kristen.
Kristen, okay.
Yep.
Some places I saw Kirsten, and so. in
I
the
think
stuff-
it's Kristen. I'm gonna check while we're talking.
Okay. Oh, right. That's in my other, okay. Anybody else got something they want to talk about?
I feel like what I want to talk about might be in emails. So I'm just trying to get a sense of just what are our top priorities like coming into this year, and then what's our overarching sense of how we're trying to make change.
I could try to tell you, but I have memory issues and I have to look it up every time. Eldon, do you have something to say on that?
Well, actually, I do. I think we need to develop a better sense of our priorities, frankly. And it's getting harder and harder for me to go down to the State House. Not that I've done it enough this year, and not have, you know, something like I won't say a platform, but you know, a series of issues that we are as a group committed to. In one case, I'll confess, I actually made some stuff up because because I was being asked by a brand new member, you know, well, what are your priorities? And I went, oh dear Lord, help me. And I did. I didn't entirely. One was the issue that Kalani brought up about separating incomes, you know, that sort of thing, which she believed me is going to be impossible. there's no way. And I think I brought up something about, set asides for housing for disabilities, just as a kind of plausible sounding made up thing, but it was me making it up. I mean, that's not the way it should be.
That's a good point. I agree.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I know exactly what all of that means. I missed a meeting or two, and so forgive me, but by separating incomes, do you mean that your spouse's income wouldn't count against your?
that's
whatever
right. That was your
disability?
point. Yeah,
Okay, and the housing set aside, I can get that, if I can figure
right,
that,
right.
okay? Okay. So that's a couple of things, and mostly I mean, one of the top priorities is making sure that we can vote. You know, some towns have been resistant to like sending people with ballots to your house if you can't come vote, or I mean, like sending two justices of the peace with a ballot to your house on town meeting day. You know, that's the traditional way. Now everything's been updated somewhat, and because we got vote by mail now, and participation in some town meetings by Zoom, and though there's a little wiggling going on about whether you can actually participate or only watch. You know, you might not be able to vote on articles that are in the town warning, even if there's voting from the floor. Does
Which
that
is
make
so
sense to
frustrating.
everybody? I hope. I live in a small town. We still do that. So, but then there's the accessibility of old buildings that many of our town halls are, you know, and you know, other things that involved in the accessibility is simply the right to vote, you know, which seems so basic. You know, that, and accessibility to buildings in general, you know, it's just not happening. And there are lots of workarounds that developers have of avoiding extra expenses like that.
You and I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there a way to, I don't know what the legality of this is, if this is a separation type of thing or what, but is there a way of getting through disability services or wherever a list of people who are currently getting services or you know, for help with their disability, so that we can put, like, I'm thinking very grassroots, like if I wanted to put 20 people together in the town of Bennington to go door to door to 200 people and make sure that it's, you know, or that they can vote, or that they get out, or how can we help them? Can we get a ride service, a volunteer ride service on voting days? Or, you know, like, is there some way, what's the grassroots way of making sure that every single citizen knows they have the right and isn't shy about or worried about asking for the right to vote? Or, you know,
I hate to throw cold water, but I'm pretty sure that sort of information would be, there'd be some kind of a confidentiality.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be more general, like just maybe
Yeah.
literally get 20 people to stand downtown and say, hey, let us know if you, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Hang
Thank
out
you.
where folks.
Hey,
who have-
Kalani. Kalani's
Hi,
here, sorry.
Does that mean we have a quorum?
I think so.
I do believe
Hey,
so.
honey,
Yep.
nice to see you.
Hi, everybody. I just
Oh,
wanted to jump in and say hello and have we sung happy birthday yet? Did I miss it?
Yeah, we
Yes.
just did. Just
Oh
missed.
shoot. Please tell Mary I say
I
happy
will
birthday.
tell Mary that you wished her a happy birthday too. Thank you. And yeah, stay around even if you want to blank your video and you you know, stay around as long as you can. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Well-
will. I definitely wanted to hear Kirsten and everything that she has to share with us if I can, but pain is pretty up there, so I will shut my camera off,
Yeah,
and I miss
Right.
you all, and I'll be back soon.
yeah, thank you.
Great, thanks, bye.
Kilani, for those who don't know, is our chair, who is dealing with a bunch of health and procedure issues, and so that's why we're rotating chairs right now. So, and I've never chaired this, but I've chaired a lot of other things. So, hopefully it'll carry on. Now, do we count? Here's the question, Patty. Kalani's here, though she's not visibly present, and she
Still, he still counts.
yeah, okay, all right, 1 2
It's 8.
3 4, yes, but not everybody's a registered member.
Oh,
Patty, can you check my count?
who's not an official member?
The two of us are not.
Okay.
Can
Please.
we, are we able to make them official members if they wanted to be, or we need quorum to make them official members?
You need quorum to do that.
Yeah, but you know what, I think we have a quorum, because we have 8 people, and if we subtract 2 and 6 is a quorum, we're there.
You're right. Is
Okay.
Glinda, are you an official member? Yes, right?
No, I'm not.
No,
No.
no,
Oh, she's not, so we don't have quorum.
it's Eliza and
Oh, wait,
Emma,
I
who,
think we just have it. I think we're right at 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we do.
okay, with Kilani, yes. Okay, so we're there. Beth, you're a registered member?
I am, but as I mentioned, I have to go kind of soon. So if we
Yep,
can do
I
the
know.
things we
That's
need
fine.
a quorum for, that's awesome.
If you can give us 5 minutes, that would be great.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so, let's carry on as best we can. Shall we, can I have a motion that, if they so wish, Glinda and Eliza and Emma can be voted in as members of this committee?
So moved.
So moved.
Holden has moved. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Patty. Okay, all those in favor signify by raising your hand or saying aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm not supposed
If
to
they
be
want to.
voting, but voting. Okay, I think you're in. Anyone say nay? Any abstentions? Thank goodness, no. Okay, we're there. You're now members, and we're now over.
Wait, do we have to ask them if they want to be members, or if they just,
Well, if they don't, do you not want to be members? I should have asked, right?
It's fine by me.
That's okay. I hadn't decided, but that's certainly fine for,
Doesn't require anything from you except occasional attendance at meetings.
sounds good.
Is that okay?
That sounds okay.
Okay, you'll get a few emails, but even that's not that often, so, okay?
That's good.
All right, okay,
I have a
Alright.
couple cats that could be,
sorry?
I have a couple cats that could be members if you want.
I
Yeah,
think,
right,
I think service dogs should count as members.
That's right.
Okay. I think we've had the officers' reports of the officers who are present, and I think we're 9 minutes past our due date for our speaker. I can give you the introduction if you'd like to hear who this person is, and maybe by the time I get through with it, she'll be here. Kirsten Murphy is who our speaker is. Her pronouns are she, her. She's the executive director of the Vermont Developmental Disabilities Council, where she worked there for 10 years. She might have a few things to tell us about. That's a public board that works to improve the lives of Vermonters with intellectual and developmental disabilities by way of advocating policy and changing systems that are problematic. There is a council in every single state because it was created by federal law. There are and every territory there are 56 councils in all on disability. Councils on developmental disabilities. She's also president of the board of directors for the National Association of all those councils. And Kirsten sounds very enthused about her life. She says directing a disability council is, quote, the job I trained for all my life. She grew up in Cape Cod, graduated from Amherst College. She has 3 kids, mother of 3 young adults. 2 of them identify on the autism spectrum.
Mhm.
And she has raised her family in Hanover, New Hampshire, and has founded a family support group program for parents of neurodiverse children. There's a whole bunch more here, but if you go to their website, the Vermont Disability, let's see, what was it? Vermont
Developmental.
Developmental Disabilities Council. Yes, thank you. Then you can read the whole thing. So I don't see her signing in just now, though maybe she's having a problem with that, but
I just emailed her to find out, it's her, work email, so I'm not sure if she's checking on that regularly, what the deal is, but I just emailed her.
okay.
Hey, Elizabeth said I got the thing from Elizabeth saying she was coming late, but
Okay.
that's all I got.
Okay, all right. All right, so we were talking about our priorities, and we talked about, the last thing we talked about was something I'm passionate about, which is making sure that everybody who is eligible to vote gets to vote, because of all the barriers that can be in the way. So, and then Eldon brought up several topics, and it's not because they're not interesting, Eldon, it's just that I have short-term memory issues.
I just mentioned that it would be good for us, for lack of a better term, to develop a platform, develop
Yes,
a set of priority issues.
absolutely. Okay, good. Okay. And housing, you mentioned some issues were dividing,
Dividing incomes and
incomes
I mentioned housing
for
centers.
tax purposes and for benefit accounting.
Yeah,
And yeah, okay.
that was a Kalani thing, which I thought was a very good thing to bring up. But
Right.
this is not going to be the year when anything happens on that. I can tell you that, because
Right. Yeah, I'm sure.
just of where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some opinions about that, but I'll skip those for now. They're not quite on topic, except for the more room that takes up, the less room there is for everybody else. So, anybody else have a question or a topic they would like to discuss for the time being?
I think the only thing I would, because I work within higher education, and we just convened a coalition on creating greater accessibility in higher ed. And that's a body of work that's with the first and only disability director that we've had at the White House. And so I'm just thinking about different ways that I'm actually thinking maybe she should come and speak to us, but then just thinking about different ways within work, employment, and education that we can help folks with disabilities and what that could look like, just reimagining different pathways and supports.
Yeah.
I would say that's especially important because right now it's going to become harder and harder to get like ADA and 504 and all of those sorts of laws enforced because of the Trump presidency, right? And it's the dissolution of the DOE. And then I'd also say that using what identity first
Mhm.
language like in this committee and beyond it is maybe something to consider.
Mhm. I just realized that now that we have a quorum, we can approve the agenda and the minutes from last month's meeting. Could I have a motion to approve today's agenda? If you might have seen it in your email, and if not, we're doing it. So
There you go.
Sorry.
I said, there you go.
Yeah. So is that an offer that you're going to move that we approve the agenda?
Sure. I
Okay.
saw.
Second, please. Okay, Eliza, second. All right. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye, and we'll continue with
Aye.
the agenda. Okay, you can vote, Glenda, if you want.
I wondered if I should abstain since I hadn't been
Okay.
present, hadn't seen the agenda and.
Got it. Got it. It's a very principled stand. Thank you. Any objections? Any abstentions? Okay. Then I think we're going on to approval of the minutes. The minutes were sent in with the
Last couple emails or last
last week. Actually, it was 2 weeks ago, but yeah. Notice about the meeting. So if you don't feel comfortable voting on it, then just abstain, okay? Those of us who are regular members and have been here and managed to get a glimpse of the minutes. I saw the minutes, but I wasn't at the meeting, so I may abstain, but I'm still voting. So could I have a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting?
So moved. Kehlani.
Thank you, Kehlani.
Welcome.
And Patty, did you just second?
I did.
Thank you. Okay, is there any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed signify by saying nay or thumbs down or whatever negative thing you want to say. Okay, and if you are abstaining, could you please just so indicate?
Yep.
Okay. Would you make a note, Patty, that there were somewhere between 4 and 5? I can't tell because your camera's off. If both Eliza and Emma voted that. Yes,
Okay.
They both abstained. And Glinda and me and Misi, were you an abstainer?
She voted. She voted, yeah.
Okay,
Oh
good.
no, I was a abstainer just because I didn't see the agenda, so I didn't want to.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep, thank
Well,
you.
this is the minutes. Okay. All right, we've had our officer reports. We don't have to approve them. They just report. And we're still waiting on our speaker to show up, and she is.
I think we should probably think of that as a no-show. I don't know
Well,
why.
actually, she's actually only a minute late. Not even a minute. It's my clock says 6:39, and I misread my agenda here. And was thinking she was supposed to be here 20 minutes ago, but I was wrong. And so we still have a couple of minutes to chew the fat if we want.
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about the identity first language, because I do realize the importance of it, but not everybody with a disability wants to be identified in that way. So I just wanted to have, or a disabled person wants to be identified in that way. So I just wanted to just have a little bit of a conversation about that. And I wanted to hear more about Eliza and Emily and the way that they're coming forward. Because I would love to have a discussion, because I think a lot of times we get stuck in semantics. And I know it's a people first model, but I'd just love to hear more about their thoughts about that.
Yeah.
I'm interrupting for 1 minute because I have a message from Kirsten
Yeah.
that says, I think I need a little bit more information. What meeting are you talking about? So,
Your
so,
word. Ah,
so I guess that's a no-show on that. I'm gonna email her back, but I'm not sure who originally was emailing, but I thought Nick had said the information from her, so I don't know. So I'm gonna email her back and see
Okay.
what's going on.
Okay.
Sorry,
So-
just to add on to that, pause before we get back to Macy's discussion request and Eliza, and I'm sorry, I forgot your other name.
Emma.
Emma. Patty, I can try and help coordinate if you need to. Perhaps they can be the April speaker. And then I've got speakers lined up for May. So I can help you offline for that. I'm
Okay.
not sure what got confused there with Kirsten, but I wasn't involved in the in setting up, but I can help you with.
Right, no, I definitely know it wasn't, you weren't involved, because girl, you were in surgery. Just don't worry about it.
Okay, so all right, we're good. Sorry about that little brief tangent interruption there. Back
No
to the
problem.
discussion,
Okay.
if that's okay. Sorry, I
Yeah.
just totally took over as chair.
We're fine. And now go relax, all right? Just don't go, just relax.
I'm just gonna go back to listening. Thank you
Okay.
all.
Eliza, you were starting to say something, I think, in response to Macy's request.
So to explain from my perspective, I've seen like reports that the majority of the disability community prefers identity first language. So to me, I mean that's my preference, but beyond that, to me, following like what the majority says as the way that we refer to the majority in like official documentation and that sort of thing, um feels right. And then for me personally, I just think that I would not be who I am were I not disabled. And I don't think that it's making being disabled any more a part of my identity than it inherently is. So that's my thoughts on that.
Mhm.
So how
Um,
have we historically, because Eliza and Emma, to your point, I joined in January, so I'm just curious how we've moved forward with that, or what it has been, kind of, for lack of a better word, like protocol.
I don't think I quite understood your question.
I didn't either.
I
So
was trying to make, oh, sorry, was it my question or Eliza's?
Yours,
Yours.
Okay, so mine was more about how have we addressed it and used the language in the past. Okay, Lonnie, go ahead.
So I think I can answer this as just being the former vice chair and a part of helping form this caucus. We did use identity first language. Is that sort of what you're asking? Like how yeah, that's how we presented. And we can change that and vote on it if anybody has issues, but I too feel like I wouldn't be and I identify as a disabled person. I wouldn't be, I would be a different person if I didn't identify that way. And I choose identity first language. So I agree with Eliza, what you were saying there. So that is historically how in this caucus we have used our language, and uh, any writing that we do is the same, whether it be emails or anything official. Does that answer your
Yeah.
question?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm happy to go with the majority, but as someone who discovered their life, that was it's different for me. And so recognizing, right, that space and the way that I operate, and then I'm also an individual that has multi racial background as well. So just the way that I navigate is a kind of either or, but then I've also have been so used to the terminology of someone who's 47 years old, right? And getting that much later in life that it does come up in a different frame. So I just appreciate having that conversation with folks, because I am always happy to use whomever and however we agree as a group. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Great.
Mhm. I want to participate here a little bit. Hang on a second.
Nick's coming into the meeting, by the way.
Yep, okay, that's fine. I just got the notice. Hi, Nick. That I come from the gay, lesbian, et cetera community, and we went through a lot of stuff about how we would identify in the world, and for a long time it was dangerous, and then time after that it was might not be dangerous, but it could be exclusionary, and so I think we kind of developed do it if you can, and don't if it's going to cost you, and or you make that choice, so people kind of got to choose in any given situation if they wanted to, as opposed to had to, identify as a member of the queer community. And so I'm a little less hard and fast. I agree that certainly as this caucus, we should be using absolutely identity first, identity positive language, because that's what we're all about. Thanks. Anybody else have anything to say? Nick, we seem to have a no-show with our speaker, so some misinformation, I think, there in the exchange. So we're kind of just having general discussion, and we may not go through the whole meeting time if it doesn't seem to make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't had any communication from Christian at all. Christian,
Yeah.
since when we booked the meeting. I know
Uh,
Patty sent her an email with the correction to the date.
Well,
but-
I got an email from her while the meeting was going on. That's what I was doing when I didn't see you and let you in. Sorry, Nick. And she didn't know what meeting I was talking about. So because she said, I don't, which meeting is this? So I sent her the information just a couple minutes ago. I haven't heard back.
I did read aloud an introduction that Kalani got me some information about her and her history. And so we'll be really excited to hear from her when she does come and get to come and speak with us. So that's all I got. Kalani.
And just also, Nick, I'm happy to help facilitate and clarify. I think I have been in touch with Nick and Patty and let them know that I'm probably not going to be coming back until May. We had previously all discussed April, or I had said that April would probably be my comeback date, but things, I've had a few, there were some complications in the surgery, and I've had a few other setbacks. So I have been less able to do things I wanted to do off camera and slash in bed, sick bed, while while I was on my medical leave. So Nick, I'm happy to help clarify. Patty, same thing with Kirsten, as much as I can to get her in, and hopefully she can be our speaker for April. I do have folks lined up for May. And then that is all I wanted to say on that topic. I did just want to jump back to the first disability first, identity first language, and just comment on something that Misi said, that I'm also biracial, and also having a disability, and in the it is sometimes difficult to navigate and confusing, and again, like you said, Ewan, with the LGBTQ plus community, like inclusion can be sometimes a bit heartbreaking and hard. So I think our choice of identity first is the best way to go, and choose it as you will, but so that's again what I just wanted to jump back on that comment. Lastly, if it's okay if I continue on to discussing topics that we could maybe speak on for this meeting, since we don't have a speaker. I know I said I wouldn't participate.
Delaney, can I ask you to just hold on a second, take a
Yep.
deep breath? And I just want to check with everyone and make sure that's fine with them. It's sort of a change of topic. Is that okay?
Oh, yep.
Okay, everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm doing my
That's
chair.
okay.
I can't help myself. So
Well, you're exercising whatever latent skills I might have as a chair. That's what you're doing.
no, you're doing wonderfully, Ewan, and thank you so much to you and everyone who has stepped up while I've been on my leave. We do have some new folks in the VDP executive team, so I think starting to have conversations with them, whether you all want to touch base with them on Facebook and say, hi, I'm a part of the Disability Caucus, like we're here. And then the executive team on this caucus can reach out maybe directly in official channels, and we can get them, especially the new executive director, and have them come speak. I think would be great.
I would like to ask them to come listen.
Yeah, come listen. Yeah, to speak, listen. I think listen is great. And maybe on that point, really getting together those ideas that the main topics that we wanted to speak on. And I will stop now because my spoons are running low and I'm actually not remembering those topics that
You're
we
okay.
wanted to talk on. I know legislative like bill stuff, we wanted to again like work on the open meetings law, and continuing down from there. I'll leave it there for folks to chime in, and thank you so much, and I'll be quiet now and really go back to resting with my ice.
So glad you're here. Patty,
That's okay. I just wanted to let Kalani in general, since she brought the kind of new people we're dealing with. I've heard from Jonathan West and Amanda Gustin, Gustin. We've been talking back and forth, and I think they did involve Kalani in the emails. We've been talking back and forth about our website presence. So they're planning on getting a page for us. We already have a website set up, but they seem to, the new folks that are in there do seem to be taking this up quicker than the past folks were, whatever the changeover was. So already in touch with some of them about that, and I can send out an email with all kind of just the names, their position, emails, you know, who we're talking to over there to get our representation, because they wanted to fold us up under their umbrella, which is great for people being streamlined to our caucus and hopefully becoming members, and even more hopefully coming to the meetings. So it's happening little by little. We'll see what we can do.
yeah. I think what it might take is that we need to be more visible. You know, we need to do
Right.
a day at the State House, whether or not they're considering anything specific to our concerns, but to just be there and have information and talk to people that, you know,
Totally agree.
that I think I think that's going to be the main thing that's going to bring people in our direction.
Yep.
I love a road trip anytime. I can pick people up along the way from Southern Vermont on up.
And that kind of echoes, I had a brief meeting with Senator Chittenden, who some of you will recall is a charter member of this group. And he advised the same thing, that the presence of more than one person from the group would be very advisable, just so that people know it really is a group, and we have, you know, a series of concerns that may or may not be fully articulated at this point, but we do have real concerns, and more visibility would be fantastic.
Yeah.
When do you think would be the best time for that? Like before summer or in the fall, or?
At this point, I'm not sure it makes a lot of sense to try to do anything this session. Things are getting kind of frantic and, you know, not quite down to the wire-ish, but closing in on it. And people are just trying to, you know, get out of there before June, basically, at this point. So it probably makes more sense to try to think in terms of early, meaning the first 4 weeks or so of the next session.
Which
I would-
is
January.
Yeah. Sometime in early to, well, anytime in January.
So
Basically,
we've got a lot of time
Yeah.
to really work on this and make sure it goes well. And so that means, I mean, I think it's really important that we're talking to each other about where we're coming from, so that we can, you know, take advantage of what experiences and skills that we each have, you know, and say, oh, you did this, and how about, can you help us with X, you know, or can you tell me about Y, so that we can, I don't mean WHY, I mean Y, the letter. And what is it that matters to each of us, so we can make sure those things go on that list. and then we can pare down the list in terms of what can legislators do for us about that thing, you know, and but so
Right.
this gives us time to do that, but we've got to be able to focus on it, you know, and if we had 50 people here, I think we'd have to have breakout rooms because it's hard to have a discussion with 50 people. So, but I think this is all really good stuff, and I'm really glad that we're having a chance to have, you know, a meeting that I can handle, and that you know, and I can get to know people. You know, I really like that. I wish you know, things go through my head like, maybe we could find a place to have a cookout or something.
Yes, yes, totally agree.
Vegetarian options and scent free, and if you know, so maybe the fire will have a scent, but something just so we can hang out and chat with each other. You know, it's I'm sorry if that impinges on people's schedules, but and finding, of course, an accessible place to do that is extremely important. But if we can demonstrate that it can be done, then we've got a thing, a card that we could play, you know? So anyway, that's
And
my,
that's definitely something that could be done during the summer. I mean, it'd be,
Yes.
you know,
yeah,
just figure out a place that's in between everybody.
yeah.
That's the
Well, that
middle of,
would be good because that's when the energy tends to be the lowest. So
yeah, what's the middle of Vermont?
what's I
Randolph?
always think of it as Randolph, but you
Yeah,
know,
Okay.
maybe Berlin.
Berlin.
Yeah, not a lot of parks in Berlin.
No, I used to work in Berlin. There's almost nothing there.
Well, that's perfect.
There's a lot of car dealerships, maybe a parking lot.
There's a tremendous number of car dealerships. That's about it.
Anyway,
Well, how would, I mean, like, maybe I could send out an email, because the people who get the emails, it's not like, I've only had 10 people out of the 160 that have said like, oh, I've got too much to do, I'm not interested, blah, blah, blah. So they're getting the emails, they're engaging by saying like, hey, I can't make the meeting, or, you know, you're doing good things, but maybe if we send out an email saying, here's, you know, we're looking to do this in January, and we're looking to meet up in July, and, you know, see if people are into it.
I see you, Kalani. You can put your hand down. Don't waste your energy that way.
Thanks. Yeah, I love this. I was thinking maybe we could try and coordinate it with a important day for the disability community. Like the anniversary, just after a quick Google, the anniversary for the ADA is July 26th.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and there's, I mean, Disability Pride Month is apparently July. I think like I'm just, this was a very quick Google, so we'd have to fact check all this stuff, but I just throwing that idea out there to coordinate it with an important day.
That's a great idea, Kalani.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say on it. I love the idea, and Patty, I second that. I think emailing out would be good. Maybe we could do a like a little Google form, or a what is that? There's like an application where you can sort of choose like what works best, or what you like best.
Yep.
Like the doodle poll.
Yes, thank you. Yep.
That's it. I can't think of it either.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
You can see I am very much not on my game right now. My brain fog is mega high. It is turned up to the highest setting. Surgery is the worst.
Yeah. Some surgeries you can't avoid, and some you can carry on with alternative solutions. And some, there's no solution, so you got your pick.
I just wanted to say, and I won't say anything else this whole meeting because I know I've been talking too much, but I'm just kind of giving updates. Kristen got back to me and said, oh no, it just hit me what this is about. I'm so sorry. It was not in my calendar. I'm not currently prepared. So I just said to her, that's okay, we're in touch, no problem. Catch you next time.
Yeah. You could tell her we have plenty to talk about without, no.
Yeah, and Patty, like if you did you reply like like maybe just invite her for next meeting. I don't know if you
I will.
I'm sorry, I don't know
Yeah,
if you have anyone on the calendar for April, but
We
I'm
don't.
actually not sure.
okay.
We don't yet, so we could invite her for next meeting.
Yeah.
All right, I'll email her after the meeting.
Okay.
I would say the two alternatives are either that or to severely shame her, one of the two.
No.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
I know.
Another,
No.
I have a weird sense of humor like that too.
yeah, and when we do have her, we should one thing we should probably do is get out another email the same day or the day before.
Yeah.
Plug it on Facebook too. Just
Right.
keep ringing it on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, and I did put the priorities that I did remember that were our top
Yes.
ones.
Thank you.
And I know
In the chat.
Kirsten can speak on some of these things and help us like direct us in the best ways to go. And or like who to connect with to help us. I think we definitely want to try Eldon. I'm not sure if you are familiar with this representative, but Herb Olson.
He's become a member.
Oh, he has. Great.
Yeah.
Oh, he's already done it. That's
Yes.
awesome. I really would like to get him and his help because he's, I believe, a former lawyer for
Legislature.
Glinda, do you know him?
I do know him. Yes.
Oh, do you know his background?
He did work as a legislator in the an attorney in the legislature helping draft laws, the legal portion. I don't know how to describe it of
No, that's
the bill become law.
Legislative
Yes.
council or something, right?
Right.
That one.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, and I've heard he's retired now and is very has a lot of excitement for helping folks like us with certain things. And one of our priorities was amending the financial aid language and the applications to only include the income of the applicant and the assets of the applicant. Right now, most financial aid applications, I'm not sure if you're aware, they take into consideration the household, which is very much unfair to a lot of people, but especially, in my opinion, folks in the disability community for
There,
various reasons that I will not go into right now.
one repercussion of altering that language might be that this is a joke, that marriage vows might have to skip the for richer or poorer.
Yeah, that's I think maybe was that another whole like giant thing that we wanted to attack or work on as a caucus at some point, the fact that folks with disabilities can't really legally get married.
Right.
Some do, but
Absolutely.
like I know I'm not going to because of so many things, but especially like financial
Yeah.
effect. Yeah.
I know they're all about marriage equality, except not. it's, it's like it has to be financial as well. You can't, the way you're being prejudiced, not prejudiced, but you're being halted from marrying because you can't afford to lose all your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes like the heating program and whatnot, it doesn't even matter if you're married. It's just if you're cohabitating. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah, it doesn't even matter. Like you could be living with a relative and they still take your income into account. So yeah, there's definitely cases where that's happening.
It also happens for, those of us over 60 or 65, because if you marry late or it's your second or third marriage or something, it might not happen because you'll end up poorer because of and Social Security issues and I don't know all the details because it wasn't an issue for me, but it's not just, it's not just actual disabilities, it's the disability of being older, it's the
right.
disability of being on some subsidized income, that it may interfere with marriage in terms of making your life worse instead of better. So anyway, well, we're almost, is there something anybody else would like to bring up for the next 10 or 15 minutes? Are we all talked out for now? For now, I said for now.
Seems that way.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
we did talk about dates, so I want to circle back to that.
Okay.
Timing of meetings. Not saying that I'm favor one way or the other, but there was a discussion about that, and we do have a quorum, so I wasn't sure if folks wanted to move on anything there.
Our next meeting is when, Patty?
The 29th of April.
Okay.
I think maybe we should send out an email asking the general pop of our email group of the caucus what they think of it. Let people think about it for a little bit and get back to me maybe, and then just
remembering to put in the day of the week,
right,
and that it's an early evening meeting,
right. And if 75% of people say, you know what, I could do Saturday from 11 a.m. to 12:30 or something, like, then we'll discuss whatever it is.
Right.
Then we can discuss and approve and agree and disagree and chat about get 2 or 3 possibilities and see what could be done.
But if we're going to do that, then we need to let our next month's speaker know.
Well, I imagine next month will be on the 29th because it'll take time to,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Just checking.
Yep.
I'm going to take my leave now, folks.
Okay.
So, good night.
All right.
Good night.
Glad to
Good
see
seeing
you.
Just
Okay.
to catch me up real quick. So there was a discussion to maybe change the caucus meeting that is generally set for the last Tuesday of every month from 6 to 7:30. Is that what I'm
Well,
getting?
we had been talking about whether changing the meeting day and time might get more people to be able to join, to see if that's one of the issues. I'm trying to kind of find out why we have 180 members or 175 members and only 6 people come to meetings. So we were thinking maybe to see if it's something simple like a date, or to Ewan's point, and to see, and Eliza and Emma's point, to see if it's publicly thought of as something people don't want to talk about or look at. Like, people with a disability, people who don't have a disability or know someone with a disability, maybe they don't want to think or look at that issue. So maybe it's a public thing, but, or maybe it's just, if we had it on, Monday from 8 AM to 9:30 AM, which I would, wait, I would not be any part of. I'd just like to say that is a joke. But just if it's that simple, then awesome. We could see if another day and time would work.
One thing I have noticed is that we are not great at advertising our meetings and the day and times. And then also sending out clear messaging and timely messaging with
Okay, that would
reminders.
be my fault, and that's okay.
Well, no, not totally. I'm not.
Yeah,
no,
no,
I'm
I
not,
mean-
I'm not focusing blame on you. Like it's.
No, it's
also-
fine. I send out the emails, so I'm good. That's
Well,
okay.
it's also like the entire executive team to get you the content to put in those emails. So I think maybe that could be a place to start versus looking at changing the whole day. I might, my feeling is that is maybe putting the cart before the horse. We might want to look at what we're doing already versus making drastic changes. Does that sound?
We can talk more
Does
about
that
this offline, but I get what you're saying. It's like what you were also saying before about having 3 or 4 or 5 speakers lined up already. And we could even have on the Facebook page and the website page, the list of upcoming meetings with the list of speakers. So it looks exciting and dynamic and together rather than last minute all the time.
And put a
Right.
photo of the speaker. If
Oh,
you can get a photo.
Love it,
Like-
Yeah,
Nick. Thank you.
these are great ideas. Yeah, Patty, if you could
Yep.
maybe write them down. I'm taking over as chair.
jazz it
again.
up.
I'm sorry. I'm not equipped to be doing this right now, but here I am.
understand, Kilani, but it's good that you're stretching those muscles a little bit. They've
Yeah.
been out of use for a little while, so it's okay. I'm good with it. So I swore up and down when I retired that I wasn't going to do another meeting ever.
I
Here I am.
gotcha.
So anyway, so with that encouragement, do you feel, I hope you feel appreciated, Patty, because I'm not sure what I would do without you. To send me a note and remind me when the meetings are and actually put like cut and paste the agenda and and remind me where I can find the minutes, because I just don't have any short-term memory. And so
It's fine. I have a very healthy, I have a very healthy ego. I know when I'm amazing, and I also have no
Okay.
problem knowing when
Okay.
I
Good.
need improvement. So all good.
I also wanted to say that I want the 6, 7 people, 8 people here to remember that you're not only 6 people, you're everything we've got right this minute, and who's present and investing energy into this effort, and we appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Ewan. And we are a disability caucus
Yes.
made up of folks who have a whole range of abilities
Mhm.
and access needs, etc. Patty, I love your little the little horns there, and I did just want to underline, like, I'm not placing any blame on you, like
No, I know, it's fine. Yep. No, it's fine. I totally get it.
Nick, did you have
Good.
your hand up, or are you just scratching the back of your head?
I was kind of scratching the back of my head.
Okay. Just checking.
No, I am
Emma.
curious what was discussed earlier at the meeting, just out of curiosity.
Can I
anything-
ask you to hold that thought? Because I think
Sure.
Emma had her hand up.
Um,
Yes?
Yeah, I was just wondering, as far as attracting people, is there any sort of social media presence? Do we have any sort of social media presence?
We have a
Besides your page.
We have a website page. We have a Facebook page currently.
Facebook group.
Okay.
Groups, right?
Media can be a great tool for that, especially reaching younger disabled folks.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking too, like Instagram.
Yeah, there's a pretty big community there for sure.
Good to know. Well, I think we'll be talking with you guys about that.
Yeah, good. That's great. If you know, you should think about whether maybe you would be interested in taking that on with some guidance from the executive committee. You know? I mean, that might be right up your alley for skills. That would be terrific.
Liza
I don't
Even
have
if you're
any-
busy.
have way too many
Yeah.
social media. She's good at that. She's done that. I struggle with the executive functioning side of that sort of thing, but Liza does great. And I would be willing to help at least with suggestions as far as that sort of.
Terrific.
That's great.
Make a note of that, Patty.
I've already got that. I'm emailing them after the meeting. It's all good.
All right. Well, we're coming down to the end here. Is there something else that people want to discuss?
I
Sure.
was just
Briefly.
wondering,
Oh,
I'm
you-
sorry.
Sorry, Glinda again?
I was just going to ask about contacting Herb Olson. Now, is somebody planning to contact him to join a meeting?
I have been, it's been on my list. It was on my to-do list before surgery, and it got pushed down.
Okay.
I think if you were up to just like letting him know that you've joined and who we are, and we've been talking about him.
Mhm.
In a good way.
In a good way. In a good way. I'd be more than happy if you know him, just to make that introduction, and he'd be welcome to join a meeting, and just listen in. But I don't think we'd be having any meetings that have to do with the topics we'd be asking for his help with until June.
In the chat, Eliza has, I assume it's Eliza. Did I assume it?
So,
He's their representative, and they know him a bit, if that helps.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
We'll
you.
get in
So,
touch.
Liza and Emma.
I wanted to come back around to Nick because you started to talk about something else and I cut you off.
Oh, no worries. I was just curious about what, if anything, what you were talking about earlier in the meeting. Anything?
And do you ever go and check the recordings of the meetings?
No, I don't.
No,
Well,
they'll be up on the website. Every one of them
Yeah.
will be up on the website. They are all the past ones are up on the website. And this one should be up tomorrow evening. We were just doing, basically we're just doing, once we got quorum, we were just doing, I did my officer's report. Then we were basically approving the agenda, everything up until probably 10 minutes before we were supposed to have a speaker, and then the speaker we realized was not showing. So then we were just basically talking about all the general subjects we've been talking about that since you came in. It was just a continuation, really.
Okay.
I think that's sort of it.
and our priorities and so on like that. Kilani.
Yes, and I'll just add on, and maybe this is a good way to sort of wrap up our meeting. Nick, we also talked about getting in touch with the new VDP executive team, and members maybe connecting via social media saying, hello, I'm a part of the caucus. Did you know it exists? Like, we're here. And then the executive team will reach out on official channels and perhaps invite them to come to a meeting and listen, and engage with us. and then I just to let the members know that I will be most likely returning in May and not April. And it sounds like it's kind of good that Kirsten didn't show, because we had a really good discussion today, and I was able to maybe give a little bit about what Kirsten and the Disabilities Council does. I think I did, and that hopefully she will be able to be our guest for April, which I think will be great, because again, she'll be able to answer some of our questions about the priorities we want to tackle in 2025, and or give us advice on things we may have not thought of that we might want to be looking at as folks in the disability community in the as a part of the VDP here.
A lot
I
of what
sent
we
her
look
the
at
email.
as our priorities cover adults, you know, and developmental disabilities present in childhood mostly. You know, so that's one different emphasis, you know, it's a emphasis on a different syllable, if you will. And that's something we could learn something about, you know, that how that is as being a mom of children with developmental disabilities. I think she could tell us a lot about that. And how maybe how we could be allies and get get whatever needs to be done into the legislature or into the public eye.
And for next time, I don't know too much about her. You said she's the head of the Vermont Developmental Disabilities Council. What's a quick rundown of what that council does?
What's the what?
What's a quick
A quick
rundown
rundown?
of what that council actually does? I'm just kind of curious about it.
It's, you know, it's basically public advocacy and I had a whole introduction here that Kalani sent me.
We can forward that to you, Nick, if you'd
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
And it basically, I mean, it's a lot of like what we're doing is trying to find legal avenues to achieve policy goals and to make things easier for families that have and people who have developmental disabilities. Some of them get a little bit better and some of them don't. And so, you know, even if you're not a kid anymore, you still have a developmental disability. And so that's my understanding anyway. Maybe.
Yep, they do a lot for, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
They do a lot for, like Yoon was saying, disability, developmental disability justice, and rights, fighting for their rights. They had a lot to do with back in the 90s getting IEPs, like real and functioning things in schools.
Do you all know what IEPs are?
I was on one.
Yep.
Okay. Yes,
So
I
like
looked at it.
and making things like dyslexia a known and real disability, but making it not something that is shamed in schools, and like kids with dyslexia were being put into like it was called special ed back in the 90s, and they were put alongside you know, in special classrooms with kids that needed much more help with like much more extreme developmental disabilities. So they're a pretty incredible council, and part of this I forget where I was going there, but they do a lot of good. And then one more thing that I think Kirsten was going to clarify or perhaps talk about was that our names are very similar, the acronyms. They, when folks talk about them, they generally talk about them as the VTDDC or just the DDC and have been for a long time. When this caucus was formed before I came on, our acronym was chosen as VDDC. And there has been some confusion with some folks, but it's sort of a non-issue, and I think she was going to touch on that,
Okay.
just to clarify.
Thanks, Kalani.
Yeah.
Nick, did you have something to add? We're right at 7:30.
Yeah, it just she does show up next meeting. Just send me the script. Yeah, I'll take it from there.
Okay. If we're done for now, no one has anything else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll take you as a second, Kilani. Nick moves, Kilani seconds. Moving to, on a side note, moving to adjourn is the way you always get in the minutes and people know you were there. So I have a reputation for always being the first one to jump in and say, move to adjourn.
Thank you.
Just ask my county chair.
Well,
So is there any discussion? Actually, that's not a discussable motion. You either vote it up or vote it down. That's it.
well, thank you, Ewan. I want to say thank you to Ewan for helping us through.
Sure. As informally as I done. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting after a wonderful bit of discussion, please signify by raising your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Seeing none, we're done. Thank you all.
We're done.